Welcome back, Transformers fans. As always, I'm James the Con.
And I'm Bobby the Bot.
And we're going to take a look at my most anticipated TFCon exclusive right now, and that is MB-18A Obsidian Commander. Oh, there's the big guy. So we'll be right back with starting this thing off.
Alright, so as we can see, this guy is really big, and I don't know, it's probably a little over a foot long. Nothing really back there to see. See the numbers on here, which I think is really cool.
Really iconic for this trailer.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can see storage for the sword, and we'll get into details about the accessories. I just wanted to show how it can store. The blaster stores over here as well, and you can see all of the limbs as well. But let's go ahead and disconnect the trailer, and we can talk about just the cab mode. And first thing that sticks out is this gold. It's not doing it any justice here. I love the red and the lights and the top lights. I don't know, I guess those are a bunch of headlights. Kind of the etching and the details in the windows, that's kind of cool. You can see some nice gold on the side here. The wheels are rubber, you know, they roll.
Yeah, that surprised me how thick they actually are.
They're very thick.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, I'd probably put those on a skateboard for you, James. You know, just a lot of details. I like that they have the details of, you know, kind of the spare tire, and this is actually where the trailer hooks. It's actually like a U shape. Yeah, the way it hooks, and it does fully turn and everything like that, so that's really cool. The colors look great, again with the gold, the black, a little bit of silver here, all done very well. The lights painted, those look very good as well. It's a chunky cab, you know, very chunky
and short, and like if you show it from the top like this, I was surprised at how short this area was.
Oh yeah,
I think it's pretty accurate if I'm not mistaken, but I like it. It's different.
Oh, definitely different.
Yeah,
definitely different. You know, again, cleans up well. We know these are legs, but you know, doesn't give you any head syndrome or anything. So yeah, I like it.
I like it too, and I do have to say, because this sword is for the Fanshobby Scourge, and I loved how they added it. Number one. Number two, I like that it actually has a place. And if you look, I think it's the same on this side. It actually just slots right in between right there. The top and the bottom.
It's actually
right?
a little, it's different on the, no,
oh,
it's actually
right?
it's molded on this side, so just.
It's just, okay. Yeah. It goes right here. I thought it was the same.
Yes. So it just goes.
Which is very interesting.
And the blaster has a place on the other side as well, so it actually slides in. There's a.
It's like a block.
Yeah, you can see the block too right there. So
it's just really cool.
Yeah.
All right, so why don't we get this opened up, and we'll be right back with inner robot mode.
Yeah.
All right, so before we get into the figure itself, why don't we take a look at the trailer? So this is the base mode, and I know it can separate. I couldn't figure it out before this, so we will be doing that. But I like this because this is what I remember as a kid.
Yes.
Having it like this with the ramps, well, not ramps.
Yeah.
You know, they
doors,
open up.
like
yeah.
Garage doors.
This is what I remember, and I like that with the little helicopter pad, and it does have, you see, a little like molded in helicopter symbol type of thing. So that's really cool. And this part, which is the hitch, folds back to be the support for it. Nice. Can't see it, but it does lay flat. Now, why don't we look at each of the individual limbs?
Yes.
I guess. You pick one and you go.
Oh, well, I'm always going to start with this one. I'll just hold this for last. And I'll pick, this is probably my least favorite. And a little, I guess it's like a little utility vehicle. It has a little bucket.
I think it's supposed to be a fire truck. Because the original one is red.
Okay.
Or orange. Okay, I don't know.
I don't know. I just see a little bucket here. So I was thinking of, you know, they can fix your power lines and stuff like that. It actually gets a little bit longer, which I like, and you can actually shift it up and that too. So clearly, this is James' most anticipated figure. This is my first time touching it. So
I don't have.
you were playing. He's been playing with this for like 75 hours. And
Okay, yeah.
So we've only had it for like 2. But this is like really cool. I like the purple and
the design they put on the windshield is very interesting. That like tech design, I really like that.
Yeah, it's really cool. Not my favorite color, not my favorite type of vehicle, but for it to come with the set, it's decent. And again, we know that this transforms into either a leg or an arm, and we'll get into that when we get into combined mode. But I think this is my least favorite of the 4, but having it in hand does look better than what we saw initially.
I'm gonna go with this one, which is the helicopter. It's 3 blades. It doesn't spin all that well, kind of tight, but that's probably a good thing when he's in combined mode.
Yeah.
It's a chunky helicopter.
They're all kind of chunky.
They are, but I really like that. Once again, that it's just cool. It reminds me of like the Matrix. I don't know why, with the 2 things on the side, and the helicopter goes out, and this, when it folds up, it's pretty cool. Number 2. I guess we should have done this in numerical order.
Did we? Right.
I don't know which number. This one doesn't have a number.
Yeah, we did.
We did. Okay. So.
That's not.
But yeah. So I love the purple though, which is the same purple as the gun.
Yeah.
So it kind of all ties in. Great little helicopter, and I'm excited to see what it looks like.
I like the landing gear on there, even though it's very static. It's just
Well, and they have 4.
Yeah.
Which is a unique shape as well.
Yeah.
So.
Look like skis and.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do like that as well.
Yeah.
All right, so then I'll go with number 3, which is actually I think my favorite.
My favorite too.
And it's more this gold is amazing on here. The other cool thing is, so the treads actually roll as well, but there's 2 tires here, so that make it spin. So in essence, you actually have real treads that roll plus
a real drill that drills.
Drills that drill. So that's really cool. So, and it does roll pretty well. Detail is pretty good. Some molded detail in there. Again, number 3. We've been going in order.
Unintentionally.
Yeah, unintentionally. I like the silver pipeline on the side as well. Pretty boring on the top, but I think it's the gold that sells me on this. If this wasn't on here, I don't think this would probably be my least favorite.
And let's get into the submarine, which is going to sneak up on you because it's all black. And I think this one's cool for a Nemesis Prime. I don't think I would typically like this color for a submarine. Well, I mean, I guess there are black. Yeah, so I guess it does make sense. I don't know. This submarine reminds me of like the ones that just kind of go down, not like a submarine not like a nuclear sub. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I do like the color, the teal in the front. I need my. This is actually more of like a baby blue, which isn't bad. But I think it looks cool. And there's a stripe going all the way through.
It's a sports sub.
Goes fast. But I really like all of the different little details with the turbines and all that stuff. It would be cool if they spun, but I understand they don't. So it's really cool. But why don't we get to the main bot in normal mode, not combined mode. And I actually have him half and half. So here he is. Transformation wasn't bad. I know you didn't try it yet, but it's really not that bad. The sword looks crazy in this mode.
It's huge.
But it's not really for this mode. But let's just remove it for now. And if you want to look at it, it's very shiny and very pretty.
It is. I can see your reflection in it.
I know, right? Oh, look, there you are.
Yeah,
see your eyes.
Look at those eyes.
This gun is also huge for him. He can't pose too well with it, but again, it's not for this mode. But if you look at his torso, I have this side, like the original Energon, and this one with Fanshobby's where you can take it off. But you do get all of this behind it. Let me see. There you go. You get all that behind it, which I actually think it looks better if you flip it up like this. It doesn't fold flat anymore, but it kind of gets it more out of the way, at least in my opinion, so that's how it's going to stay for now.
I definitely would have to have it out of the way.
Right? That it just gets in the way. But I do think this looks cool. It's very reminiscent of the original one, but it looks better, I think, a lot better. And the chrome, let's just talk about that. That is just gorgeous. I'm glad they didn't do like silver or paint or something. They went the extra mile on this. He does have like the spark crystal or whatever. I don't exactly remember what they were in Energon. What were they, Bobby? But I think he looked cool. I love the detail, like Bobby said, in the windshields, and yeah, the chrome on the not the chrome, the gold on the legs. It's just a good figure, and I think this deco really sells it.
And the other cool thing, I don't know if you want to talk about it now, but there's some light up features.
There are, so we'll get to that in the combined mode,
Yes.
just because.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah, and you can't see it right now. So for articulation, he actually has a decent ball jointed head. Turns. The arms, you do have to pull this flap out, which I'm not a fan of, but you could still get his arms pretty far out without moving the flap. So I'm actually okay with that. But you can, if you move the flap, get him all the way out. Full 360 here. Very nice ratchet.
Sound of that.
Let's see. Double jointed arm, which you could get almost everything you need. Hands are on a swivel. Now this one, I think he only has a trigger finger in this mode, but I think the other hands are more. He does have a waist swivel. I don't think he had, no ab crunch from what I see. But fans hobby like the height.
I was to say, is it like
so
really
we'll
tight
look,
or
yeah. The legs, he does have little flaps that you have to kind of move, but he can go all the way up. Let's see, there you go. There you go. And all the way back. Thigh swivel can do everything you need it to. Now the knee does look a little low, but I think that's for combined mode.
Of course.
So I'll leave that. And then he does have toe tilts, so not a full ankle tilt, but I think that's good enough. So this mode really has all the articulation that you need. Nothing special, but you don't really need anything else, and I think they probably did it because of the combined mode.
Combined mode is where
I think that's where it's at,
Yeah.
and I think everybody knows that. So with that being said, let's get this thing all hooked up. And we're back, and here he is with limbs in numerical order, 1, 2, 3, 4. At least that makes sense to me. And this is a beast. What do you think, Bobby?
It's very interesting. I'm looking at it and I'm just like, I didn't want this figure in the prime aesthetic. I like this one.
Yeah. I mean, the colors really work together. Even this weird yellow, just it
That
gives
throws
another.
me off, but-
Yeah, but it's another pop of color, which I like. Everything else fits in really good. The purple and purple, I don't know. I thought that looked kind of cool with the gun and the sword, which is exclusive to this version. Looks good as well. The head is actually pretty articulated in this. Like you could look down pretty high and look up as well. And what was really cool with transformation is you actually swiveled the face around, and it had like a smaller face for the inner bot, and you flip it around and it's a bigger face, which I thought was really interesting. This is also a unique head sculpt from
Get Right Robot?
Yeah, from Get Right Robot, from the normal one.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's pretty cool. And why don't we just go over articulate the rest of it? So the arms themselves, it has a sword in it, but that's fine. They go out to about there. They could go more, but with all of the kibble, I guess since these do slide out because of transformation, you could get more if you really needed to. Bicep swivel. Ugh, the joints are tight, but they're not ratcheted, which kind of surprised me. Not, a little bit less than 90-degree bend. I'm sure you could, yeah. You could force it to be 90 degree, depending on your angle. And then, but that's if you don't have it, if you have this pushed up. Waist swivel, can swivel. No really ab crunch, but it does like do that, but that's because of transformation. Yeah, and there are locks here, so this does like collapse. So you have to push both of those in and collapse it, which I thought was kind of cool. Hip skirts we already saw, and I did make a mistake. These are actually supposed to be folded in the little bot. So yeah, I didn't know that. And we might just, there we go. Hips are the same, so I'm not going to go over those. The knee,
Like those ratchets.
Yes, and they do go up to 90. And then each of the foot is going to be a little bit different. Yeah, I'm going to try to poke Bobby's eye out.
Cut me off.
But this one does have a toe tilt like this, but this one has a proper ankle tilt like that. So they're all going to be a little bit different. And we do have the limbs and the alternate ones, which we'll get to in a second, but I did want to show this off. Where is it? So it comes with the battery for the light in the chest. And here, why don't we turn this off really quick? So it is quite bright.
Ooh.
It's very spooky.
Yes.
And it does look really cool. So, an evil Matrix, I guess. I don't remember what he had in the show, but that's cool. And I know you like your light up effect, so are you happy he comes with one and has the battery included?
I do. I have a drawer full of batteries, so I don't have to try to find which one that it takes. So that's very cool.
And then I do have these folded up, like how I said I think looks better. It kind of makes him a little bit more. He does look very skinny, which is weird because it was the fattest prime before, but I do like that. So
Weight Watchers.
yeah, I guess so. And now I guess let's just get the limbs. So they do just slide right off, just like the normal. They're a little tight, but they should be. And then before you know it, you have a naked prime. And let's get these on in no particular order. It is very satisfying to put them on.
I just like clicks and ratchets. I just like to know that my stuff's not gonna fall off.
Oh yeah, these ain't going nowhere. And lastly, number 3, which is Bobby's favorite. Go right there. So this is what the other limbs look like. I'm not gonna bother putting the weapons in. But they all look really cool. And I reading the instructions, I believe this claw is an exclusive to this figure. The other one has the hand, which is pretty cool because the original one had a claw. I know you do prefer the hand.
I do prefer the hand.
But at the same time, I think it's cool that we have that. So it's really reminiscent of what I had as a kid. So yeah, I think this figure is great. I like that you could change it up the colors, and I'm sure you're going to be doing that to figure out which one looks best on your shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're at TFCon, go pick it up. I would definitely recommend it.
It looks much better in person. I cannot tell a lie. It looks much better in person. And shout out to Get Right Robot and to the Chosen Prime for putting this out, and Fanshobby.
Yeah, no, they did a great job on this. If you've been watching our channel, you know when we talked about this figure, this is the color I wanted, so I'm very happy to have it. And now let's just see what they could pull out.
Well, before we go there, let's talk about the trailer.
Yes, I forgot. You did
Yes.
rip it apart, so he's just
So-
kind of staring at it.
Let's bring out your trailer if you don't
So
mind.
this is right here.
And you can, with some force,
Yeah, it was a little scary.
pull this thing apart. Now, I'm not going to do it on camera, but you can actually pull it into 2 halves. And then you can actually pull these pieces apart, and you can, for instance, if you wanted them to all line up, you can do that and stick them together.
Have all 4 of them. It's like you can have it as a platform for him
Yes.
if you really wanted to. Yeah,
And then you can have, them together this way. Again, if you wanted to stack them up, you can do that. And there's basically, let's see, where is it? There's little clips on each side. There's 4 of them, and they go into these ridges right here and right here, and they click in, and they're very, very snug, and
too snug almost.
almost too snug. Let's
like if you were to hold this, you wouldn't think that it comes apart.
Yeah. So you heard that click, and I mean literally, you just have to rip it apart. I tried to do like the little gentle. It's not moving. You want to leave the doors open, but like, look, I'm not getting any way with it. But hopefully I don't elbow James here. You heard one? There we go.
There you go.
So you just pull it apart, and even you can take the wheels off as well.
So you could stack them better.
so you can stack them better, and these just slide off. These were very easy to get off, so that was a good thing. But I think it's really cool. I do think that part is fun, that you can do this. You can do this with the original toy. So
no, you couldn't.
yeah, I was to say you couldn't.
Oh,
do it
I thought you said you could do
no,
this.
No,
okay,
you couldn't do it with
okay.
the original toy. So I think it's something that they added
Yeah.
that makes it a little bit of fun. And again, you just slide the wheels on.
Well, what I like about that is that you can make like a platform and you have something to use the trailer for.
Yes.
You know, instead of I could have it as a platform with him on top of it or something. So
Yeah.
that's really cool.
So instead of having a big brick, you can actually do something with this. So, yeah, I really thought this was cool. You can have them individual. This reminded me of Voltron, kind of like how all the lions were in their own little den. So you can actually have each one separated. So very cool. Hopefully they release the limbs in
single colors.
single colors.
Because I know you'll pick them up.
Yeah.
So. Oh, and we almost forgot. It comes with upside down the card,
Yes.
which I know Bobby likes, and then it also comes with a sticker sheet. So obviously we haven't put them on, but I think I will eventually.
Eventually.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna put them on probably as well.
Yeah. So what are your final thoughts?
I guess I would probably give this a 7 out of 10, and the reason is I just don't like this Prime mold in general. I didn't like the way it formed. I don't like the claw hand or whatever. But it also gets a high grade because I love the colors and the paint and the uniqueness of it. So it's something that I definitely picked up. I'm not gonna get the Prime colors, but this was definitely a buy for me.
Yeah. So I would probably give it a 9 out of 10 because of the playability. I mean, you don't get that. Like the trailer and like being able to swap out the limbs and stuff, it's really cool. It was fun to transform, so you didn't get to experience that. But it was it was very fun to transform. I think the gold is amazing. It has shelf presence, so I think this one's a winner. Yeah, I like it. So go pick it up and let us know what you think if you guys got this, and start a conversation down in the comments.
Yeah, do that. And sorry we're behind on the comments. It's been a busy week.
Yes, to put it lightly. So,
well, as always, Bob vs. Con in TFCon in Baltimore. Having a great time. We'll see you guys on the next review.
See you then.
To all debates one.